I'm considering hikes, and so uh, I just want to show how complicated the area is east of Las Vegas. And I guess I'll start, this will be kind of a rambler, with how uh, Frenchman Mountain got there. Now, during the extension, Frenchman Mountain and other material is sort of breaking loose, being stretched apart from the Colorado Plateau, which Colorado Plateau is over here. See the edge of it? And there it is with the Grand Canyon. Okay, and so material sloughed away, like Frenchman Mountain came from the area at uh, what Goldstone, Gold Butte over here, and so this here's the plateau, and see you see almost like visualize like a landslide, a big giant landslide. See how this material is doing this? That's where Frenchman Mountain came from, except it was ahead of this, not back here. It was ahead of this material here. Uh, and so it came down, and there it is. It ended up 40 miles, 45 miles from where it started next to Las Vegas. And so all this material came down. Like, see, now look at it like this. Visualize a big landslide, and you can picture it. You can see it. This landslide came down here and turned stuff sideways, and everything got tilted and turned topsy turvy. So here's a good example of it. See, this is the Cleopatra volcano. See how it got torn in half? Okay, so this part over here is going this way, and this part, all of this is going this way towards Las Vegas. So here's the other half. See, this was here. This was here. All of this was here, but it's been torn. So now you can visualize, see that stuff there? Now you can visualize that it's slumping away and being stretched apart and kind of almost flowing downhill on the parent bedrock down below. Okay. And so there you go. So you could picture that. Now let's look at some evidence of this besides that. So you see how this material is like this, and and this over here kind of got smushed this way, and this over here kind of got smooshed that way. So it's all very complicated and it's hard to keep track of layers, but I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's take the carnian flood gravels, which is the the petrified wood, the gravels, the great floods, the time it rained for 2 million years with all the logs and everything, and the petrified forest member above it. Now, above it means more recent. And so let's look at it up in Zion. Here's, in other words, we're going to go to the same layers up in Zion where they're flat. Okay, so the Carnian flood deposits, the gravel at 232 million, there they are, exposed at Crater Hill, where I've been up there and all over this place, and they're exposed because it's more resistant. So to go more recent in time, you go up. And so after the rains and the establishing of the forest and everything with all of the rain and the beginning of the takeover of the dinosaurs, that you had lush forests because of all this rain for 2 million years. Okay, well, they would be above this layer. So that's been washed away in this area, exposing this. So if you want to go above it, you'll come to this same, the petrified forest member here. See, there it is. Okay, now let's do that where I want to hike. Let's go. Okay, now this is Bowl of Fire just north of Lake Mead, probably where I'll hike. See, it's just there. And this is analogous to Valley of Fire. Okay, because remember back then the land was flat. So you have to picture that stuff was identical over vast distances. So let's go to the Carnian flood deposits and then go more recent in time. Okay, So here you have, now we're going to go this way. It's more recent to the right. Okay, so here the rains haven't started yet. The Wrangelian eruptions were taking place, and it was cranking up, putting more humidity into the atmosphere, and then the rains finally start. That's this area. In other words, this is the start of the Carnian pluvial event, the time it rained for 2 million years. So it rains more and more, and these are huge gravelly flood deposits. Okay, so now the rains have been going for a long time, and the forests obviously get more established with conifers, which helped give rise to the dinosaurs. So going more recent, now we're going more recent. So this is a 232 million. Okay, so we'll go, I got to make sure not to say this backwards. Let's say 225 million is in here. Now in here, now we're coming to the petrified forest member. It's more recent forests are established. So the petrified forest member would be right in here. So you're saying like 211. Now remember the Aztec sandstone over here is, let's say 200 million. That's more recent. So this is 211, 215. Okay, which if you type it in and look it up, that's what you'll find. So this is 215. So in here, you would expect to find nice petrified wood, which you do. This is a gold mine in here, by the way, this section right here. So you see what I'm saying? That the layers stay the same and they repeat. So let's see. Oh, okay. Now over ways, here's Pinto Valley, which I may go there. And so you have the same thing. Here's your up tilted very old limestone, and then the virgin limestone right there, and more Moenkopi red beds, and then you have the same deposits where we just were. So they're just barely sticking up. Most are covered, but they're barely sticking up. But there's the same flood gravels, and see the colors there. See right here where they're the same. And there you have your petrified forest member. That's how to tell the difference. See there? It looks the same. See, but there it is. But it's covered up with this alluvium. But you get the idea? Okay, here's our Carnian flood deposits. Carnian flood deposits. And now where's the petrified forest member? Right here, more recent, like 211. So look at how I can tell the dates. There we're looking virgin limestone 240, and then 235, and then here 232, that's the Carnian flood deposits. The petrified forest member uh, is right at 215, and more recent. So see how you can tell the dates. You can read them like a book, just like reading pages of a book. Okay, but see, these are covered up under alluvium. Okay, so now okay, I already was there. Now let's go to petrified forest member. In other words, the same thing in Valley of Fire. See, the layers repeat. You get it? And you can age it. You can age it. So let's do it. Let's not talk about it. Let's do it. Okay. So here's the Carnian flood deposits. Just starting is more over here. See, this is in front of the visitor center at Valley of Fire. Oh, brother, I hope this makes sense. So here the floods are starting. See, they're more spread out because they're more flatter. They're like 30 degrees in this location. So the floods are just starting. And there are more and more rains, more and more flood deposits. And then the flooding and everything is taking place longer. And so you have more and more trees. And what do you have there? See those colors? See? Petrified forest member. Just like over in Arizona, you have the petrified forest member where all the petrified wood is. See there? So look again. See these colors? I'll go back to that one. So there we are back at Valley of Fire. But you get the point. The layers repeat. And so, oh, did I show the picture where I showed Frenchman Mountain traveled from over at Gold Butte? This here? Let's look at the picture of how it looks. Now, I took the pictures from on top of this mesa here. I hope I didn't already say this. I was right on top of that mesa. You just have to believe me. And looking over. See there how that material is coming. This is more recent. Frenchman Mountain was one of the first to break loose and come free. Okay, here's how it looks in the flesh. There's what it looks like. There's what it looks like. So see, it's not all just theory. It's real. You go there, look, and apply geology, and it's real. There's the Colorado Plateau, and here's the stuff in a landslide being pulled apart and sloughing away and traveling, let's say, towards Las Vegas. But you get the point. But that's a very good picture. And I was right on top of, I forget what the name of the mesa is, but it's right there in Valley of Fire. But see how good that shows that material is coming loose? And so now you go to Google Earth and you visualize a big landslide coming this way, and then you will understand how Cleopatra volcano got torn in half, and why half of it is here, and half of it is here, and half of it is over here. See, it got torn, but this belongs over here. So there you go. I hope that helped.